Hello, this is just a quick update regarding my last video. If you hadn't watched that, it's basically just a video regarding CodeClan, which is, or was, a coding bootcamp here in Scotland, in the UK. But as of recently, that had just gone bankrupt, it's closed its doors, and as a result of that, a lot of people are sort of left out of pocket, sort of in the middle of courses and things. Instructors have lost their jobs, and massive blow to the tech sector here. Anyway, on to today, or onto a few days ago, I should say. It's a bit late to the party, this, but anyway. Mark Logan, the Chief Entrepreneurial Advisor to the Scottish Government, has came out with a statement in regards to CodeClan, basically stating that they're going to provide support to all the affected students, which is great news, and they're going to sort of come up with some plans going forward and how they're going to replace CodeClan as a means to sort of recruit people into the tech sector, basically. I won't go through the whole article here word for word. I'll link it below so you can read it for yourselves. But I'm just going to go through some of the key points and give you a sort of a TLDR, basically. Too long, didn't read, if you don't know what that means. Right, so basically, there's three main points to this. So first of all, he says, what can be done to help the students? First of all, obviously, the main point being, the most important takeaway from this is that there is going to be support for the students that were affected by the closure of CodeClan. And what they're doing to do that is basically all the assets from CodeClan and its various courses and things are being sent over to Codebase. Codebase is an organization which basically deals with tech startups and things like that. They host like educational seminars and stuff, networking events and things like that for people getting into tech. They provide a space, obviously, as I said, for startups and things. Overall, they just sort of provide support to people trying to get into the tech sector. It's probably the most generalized description I can give for them that I can come up with. But anyway, they're basically taking those assets, and so what they're doing there with them is they're inviting some of the instructors to come back and basically finish the courses with the students. In terms of funding for that, the Scottish Government is going to provide it. So the JustGiving and all that, all the money that was raised from that, that's essentially extra at this point, which is great news. It doesn't discount any of that, obviously. It's great that we've seen so much support from people sort of donating and things. It's been incredible to see. But that's just going to go even further now because the government's also stepping in to provide support there. So all that extra money does now is basically just ensures that there is a sort of way to do this, because at the moment we don't know the exact plans. Obviously, in the article, obviously there's mention made of, Codebase is going to take the assets. Instructors are going to be invited back and things like that to finish the courses. But that's about as much as they've said. There's no sort of concrete, here's exactly what we're going to do plans yet and how we're going to fund all this and stuff like that. But they're claiming they're going to. So that's a step in the right direction. Let's see what happens. As far as I'm aware at this current moment in time, some of the cohorts have actually resumed their studies as well, which is great to see. So they're obviously doing something. How they do that and how they fund it and things like that, I suppose there will be a way. But yeah, it's great to see. And obviously the JustGiving will still be active as well, I imagine, by the time this video comes out. So I'll link that below just in case you want to sort of put any money forward towards that cause. Yeah, so that's the main thing. That's the main takeaway here. It's the best news that could have possibly come from this. There's a couple of the points here as well. Obviously, I mentioned there's 3 points. The second point is basically acknowledging that CodeClan was strategically an important asset in the Scottish ecosystem, the tech ecosystem, that is. And because of that, people are asking the question, why was it allowed to fail, right? So they're addressing here, why was it allowed to fail? There's a sort of long spiel here about sort of CodeClan, what it means to the government, and and all that, and why wasn't public money put forward and things like that to help emergency grants and stuff, despite all that. And basically the gist of it is that it was, at the end of the day, a private business that financially was making a loss, and yeah, it kind of just went the way most businesses go when they're loss making. So yeah, that's kind of what it is at the end of the day. That's kind of, it is what it is, right? There's not really too much else to be said. It's sort of a long-winded way of saying that, the way I put it in the article. But it is important to the government. It proved itself to be a very important asset to the tech sector here. So they then go on to say in the third part of how the Scottish Government is planning to reintroduce a sort of replacement for this, sort of fill the void, basically. And there's not really much here. They've basically just stated in a small paragraph at the end of the article that they're going to. Essentially, they realise that it's important to the tech sector here, and that they're looking at ways to replace this. And that's kind of it. But it's good to see that obviously we're heading in the right direction here. Voices are being heard, and the government knows that this is a very important part of the tech industry here. It was a very important part of the tech industry, and recruiting people into that space, allowing people to actually get their foot in the door and allow the tech sector to grow, I suppose. Took away a lot of red tape for a lot of people trying to get in. So it was great. So obviously that needs to be addressed and replaced somehow. So it's good to see that they're acknowledging that, as I said. So anyway, I'll link all that below. I'll link the article and the JustGiving, stuff like that. One other thing as well is that it's not just the government getting involved in this as well. Also, a couple of quite big companies in the tech sector around Edinburgh specifically, Fanduel and Skyscanner, are partnering up to provide a workshop for the affected students as well, covering things like CV writing and sort of coding interviews, sort of technical skills and things. Soft skills as well, networking, stuff like that, all the good stuff that you need for getting your first role. And that's great to see as well. That's free to all the affected CodeClan students. You might want to sign up for it though quite quickly, because it's in 4 days, the 18th of August. I'm filming this on the 14th, so I'll provide a link for that below as well, for anyone who wants to reserve a spot for that. So be quick in doing that if you're interested in that. That will be held in Edinburgh as well, and you can see all the exact location and stuff in the actual in the link, basically, which I'll provide. But yeah, Fanduel and Skyscanner are quite big. They've been quite involved with CodeClan before. They were both partners, I believe. CodeClan partners, that is, which basically means that they would quite regularly take on the graduates, basically. And we're quite heavily invested in CodeClan and sort of its success, I guess. So yeah, good to see that they're helping out as well. So yeah, check the event out if you want to go to that as well. And that's it, I think. So of course, let me know if I missed anything. Like and share the video. See if we can get this out to as many people as we can and update them on the situation. Yeah, hopefully more good news like this. See you in the next one.